So, I thought I'd do a quick guide for anyone who doesn't know what or how to book a Zoom meeting. You've got your title, which comes up on everything, including in the top of the screen, and then your description, which mostly is just for the invites and things. It kind of says what's going on. You've got your dates and your times, and then you can set it to run for however you want. Most plans can only do one meeting at a time, so I would say that booking over a bit but understanding how long it's going to last can be handy for your invitees. But if I was doing, say, one meeting a day, like a catch-up meeting or just a meeting so that everyone in your company can sort of talk together, I would probably make this a lot looser, maybe start the time a couple of hours before and have the duration be a lot longer. It depends what style of meeting and the way that you run your organisation is what that depends on. I'm showing you this on a basic account just because I actually didn't know this until today. So if you have 3 or more people in, you have a 40-minute time limit. So that's good to know. Upgrading, I think it's $14.99 a month for one plan, and then you can have unlimited time on each group meeting, and unlimited recording, and unlimited everything else. So that's just there, just to know. And you've got your time zones, which is helpful and does you by cities. Making sure that's correct can be very, very, very important, especially with the times going back this weekend. Our relative time with other people is going to change. So if you're international, just double check that before you go, and then you can recur it, so it can make it relatively easy. You've got your personal meeting room, which I generally try for only impromptu things or really, really, really last minute things. Otherwise, I would generally try to keep this as secret as possible. So I would get for each individual meeting it to generate automatically. So when you send the invite, different people only get invited to that meeting room, and once the meeting has elapsed, then no one can get back in on that ID ever again. So I would recommend that personally. You ain't got the password, it's just an added level of security. If you're sending the invite out, that has the password on it anyway, so that sort of copies and pastes. It's more for accidental dialings and things like that than anything else. Or if you are always using your personal meeting room, then it can change the password depending on the meeting. So, and you can customize that as well. So if you are working, it might be nice to change it to something more typable. Make sure the video is on for everybody and how people can connect. If you want to be nice to Zoom, I know they're having quite a lot of issues with their telephone because the demand is quite high, but you can add the different countries that you're going, and then you can give them a local number for them to dial in on if you want to. Enable join before host. I would enable this if I was talking to friends, family, or to for more casual meetings, because like a real meeting room, people can come in and they can talk to each other before you necessarily join. But if you're doing more of a classroom setup or something where it's all you talking to everyone else, or a much more formal thing where you are very much hosting, then I would recommend leaving that off, and then people will be put in a waiting room until you specifically arrive. Mute participants on entry. Again, if you're doing the classroom setup, or you're doing something where people might come and go, and really it's say 2 or 3 people talking and lots of people watching, if you mute participants on entry, then when people arrive, they're not automatically going to start blurting out audio to everybody. So that can be quite good for limiting the kind of interruption to your meeting. The waiting room also, there's a formal waiting room and an informal waiting room. It's up to you. You can give it a go. I think especially for the very formal, very classroom orientated, turning that on is very good. And then record the meeting automatically on the local computer. I would generally turn this off, but it can be helpful for backups of things, getting local audio and local video from each person. But this only works for the host, this doesn't work for everyone, so it's just an additional thing. And then you can save it, and then you can get your meeting ID. So if I do that, and then it populates more things. So you've got your invites of the various types, your ID and your password, and what you've done. And you can edit that, or you can start it immediately. And this is only really important if you've got the enable join by host disabled, because no one will be able to get in without you or until it starts. So, and then you can copy your invitation, which populates stuff. If you've got lots of dial-in options, this will also be included, but it's got everything in there. So that is just a quick, hopefully nice and easy tour of how to set up a Zoom meeting. Good luck.